Hello, everybody. This is Jennifer Jennings, your intuitive astrologer here in Nashville, Tennessee. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. We are looking at the corona vaccine this morning. It took place from Pfizer at 6:31 a.m. in Coventry, United Kingdom. A 90-year-old woman volunteered. There is a great amount of people that are 80 and older that will be receiving this vaccine. They consider it a privilege to be able to do so. And I think that that is very admirable, very brave. Everything that happens is for us to either learn or be the teacher. At times, we are both the student and the teacher. And here's where we learn here on earth is where we learn about energies and health and wealth and value, integrity, spiritual principles in the material world. So there are a few things that I see right off the bat, but I'm going to try to keep this quick and focused. I'm not going to get into all the trines and squares, and I mean, it would be a 2-hour reading. I will start with the 12th house. The 12th house and the first house is Scorpio. The 12th house is ruled by Pisces. This is the house of God. This is the house of enemies, hospitals. This is speaking loud because Scorpio is the zodiac healer. So the 12th house and the first house is ruled by Aries. This is your vitality, your ego, how you show up in the world. The Scorpio energy is ruled by Pluto. Pluto rules this 8th house over here. Pluto is the zodiac healer. It's a 3-part sign. Sometimes the darkness can provide unity. And the darkness is always teaching us about the light. They are one of the same. Life and death are the same. They appear different, but they are not different. It's just new beginnings. And Scorpio represents death, rebirth, and regeneration. And Selena being here at this critical 29 degrees, I've got to just jump to it real quick because the critical part about this whole chart is that we are learning how to raise our vibration. We are learning new healing techniques. And it's very critical for our vitality that this is taught, that we are going to understand as a collective about the movement of our immune system. That's Sagittarius. It's a quick movement. This is also, I know that this is conveying to me the immune system. Mercury being here is definitely about the lungs, the arms, communication, the higher mind. We've got to really get into the higher gnosis of medicine and what it means. Let me jump back up here to this 12th house of Pisces and hospitals. There's going to be wisdom. Poseidon at 14 degrees with Scorpio. This is wisdom with God, with healing, love. Venus in Scorpio wants commitment. Here in the 12th house, there is an unknown. She's abandoning herself with God. And it's unknown. The outcome is unknown. And she goes for it anyway. And that's what this woman, this brave woman, she went for it anyway. She abandoned herself for the collective, for God, for this teaching that's happening in Sagittarius. There's a commitment that she made. There was an intensity that she felt she needed to provide. And Astrea here, this is Asclepius, one of Asclepius' daughter. She is about divine order. She is not always comfortable in the real world, and she doesn't really see the unity. But Astrea is asking us to let go. Astrea is about justice, the balancing of the scales, and she is said to have been the last of the immortals to withdraw from Earth and turned into the constellation of Virgo. So there is an unconscious history here. We've been here before, guys. In the material world, we've been here before. Definitely been here before. Juno is the queen of heaven. She is about entitlement. She is an energy that can be pretty violent. She's challenging. And here, I mean, she's as challenging as Saturn. She brings lessons. This is lessons of the unconscious, lessons with God, lessons at the hospital. We are learning. We are learning about different energies right now. This is passionate. She's dramatic. There is a karma. There's a fate. Lots of desires, lots of intensity, high emotions. And like I said, Selena is she's the goddess of the moon. She teaches us about our emotions. And it being in Scorpio, it's very intense. This is in Scorpio, she is the Phoenix rising. She's triumph over adversity. She's very resourceful. She gives us lessons on our spiritual journey. Mercury here in Sagittarius is about networking, the immune system, working with the immune system and the lungs. Mercury here in Sagittarius is philosophical, a philosophical leader, and this would make it very difficult because the South Node is here. The sun in Vulcan, there is God's will is being done with our vitality right now. With this event, there's an exploration. You know, Sagittarius is the teacher. It's ruled by Jupiter. So we've got the Jupiter energy, we've got the Aries energy. It's shining on our vitality with this event. But we're also with the South Node. The sun is conjunct the South Node. Anything that can expand our world and our understanding of medicine, what it does to our bodies, the strong impression that it makes. Again, the sun is conjunct the South Node, and the South Node, this is where there is a right relations. This is calling on the medical community, the scientific community rather, to let go of the ego and really devote their time and energy to others. This is a quest for right relations and to really let go of the ego. We have Cupid, and there's a mastery here in Capricorn. Something new takes place, the 0-0 with Capricorn. There's something that's beginning, and it was beginning with the vaccine. There's a mastery here with this vaccine from the authority figures. It could be some limitations. The anti-vertex is here. This is about surgery and research, and life and death matters. The second house is about values. Intense experiences come with the anti-vertex and the vertex. Security is what this anti-vertex is looking for with the authoritarian figures. The vertex, the intensity that is beginning in Cancer at home, around the world, and there's a weight. There's an emotional weight that needs to be used with this Hades. This vertex is very intense at home. Here in the 8th house, this is about death. It's about rebirth, regeneration. Again, the phoenix rising. Definitely emotional intensity. It's devouring. It's devouring the emotions, and there is a future that's being looked at. And with Vulcanus, there is a publicity about health. So I just read that whole 8th house. Let me come back. Let's look at Pluto. Pluto is at 23 degrees. This is about money. It's about upheaval. It's about changes of inner values and transforming old structures. Definitely teaching. There's a mastery that's happening with Pluto, Jupiter, and critical Saturn. See, we have Selena at 29 degrees. We also have Saturn at 29 degrees. So there is limits. There's time limits. Saturn is, and I know I skipped Jupiter, I'll come back, but Saturn is critical. The government, there's critical changes that are happening with the structure of the values, money. This is definitely about worldly ambitions. And Jupiter being right in the middle is expanding the integrity, the values, the law with this event. Pallas is coming in. I mean, this is a new beginning. It is calling on us to, or this event is calling on us to evaluate our future. Pallas is like Uranus right here. Pallas is about shaking and waking. This is a wake-up call. This is shocks for the future. This is about money for the future. Political causes, humanitarian, idealism. There will be sudden shocks and changes. Insight for the future for sure. We have, not surprisingly, we have the bullseye, the joy, that's coming at exactly 2500. I just want to say that this 2500 is making me feel like this right here, this joy about the future, about this wake-up call that we are going to receive through this event today, this morning. 2025 is when Uranus returns for Tesla. Yes, Tesla's not here, but there's a lot of energy working behind the scenes. This is pertinent to our story right now, because this joy is about communications, relationships, higher mind, freedom, not conforming. So there's a freedom with this event. and it's going to give us wake-up calls in the future. Our joy will be in the future communications, the way that we communicate with one another. The third house is, of course, about communications. It's ruled by Gemini, the lungs, the twins, the siblings, and we have the future about the lungs. We've got teacher, God, Neptune, the immune system, and what is hidden. Ceres is a pastor. She's a priest. She's very loving. She's kind. She's generous. And this is about networking, being at one with God. Neptune, again, this is the immune system of the lungs, the future joy, the communication. There's something that's confusing with this event. It was scattered, not complete. Then we go into the house of home. It begins with Pisces at 23 degrees, but then it goes into Aries. There is a strong drive for the future in the house of home. With this event, there are the two Aries vernal points. There will be deaths that come at home. There's a wound at home, and it's warring. 18 and 18. So we've got Mars and Neptune, both at 18 degrees. Both these energies are telling us that there is a problem at home. There is a wound, a painful wound with family. This is to pioneer. Chiron is a pioneer in Aries, the wounded healer that is destined to be service to humanity. And with our creativity, with this event, with this vaccine, there is discord, strong discord to create lots and lots of dark emotions. You know, Eris here at 23 degrees is the same degree as Pluto, the midheaven in Virgo, the health, the IC, our lowest point at home. Eris is about discord. It's the planet it's a dwarf planet, and she brings a lot of change, evolutionary change. She is very impatient. And here in the fifth house, there is a competition to create a vaccine. It is bringing discord within the medical community. It's about creativity, of course, of the very small elementals. It's very fast moving energy. Lilith here, conjunct Uranus, there's an empowerment. There is where she is taking, the dark moon is, Lilith is taking this emotional intensity, this manipulation, and she is turning it into creativity. So all this darkness, all this dark energy is going to be very beneficial. There's a comfort zone here in the sign of Taurus with the black moon. She doesn't want to change. She's pretty stubborn. So there's a stubborn energy that shakes things up. This Uranus next to being so close 2 degrees away, there is definitely creative pursuits that are unconventional, that are different, that are odd. And there is darkness. And this is about humanity and our resources and how we take care of one another. This house is ruled by the sun, the fourth house, the moon. So we've got this reflection of where we've been. We've been here before. There's discord, there's dark feelings. And we're being asked, this is the house ruled by, sixth house is ruled by Virgo, and we're being asked to let go. Just let go and be one. The law of one. There's this mental burden on earth, and it's we're descending. And even though there's this mental burden and we're descending, there is a reason. We are very scattered. We're not focused here at home. This is the seventh house. This is where Libra, the justice, the mental justice, the higher mind, the lungs. The energies are somewhat supporting this event. Somewhat. I can kind of see the support or the lessons for sure. I already spoke about Hades. There is definitely a beginning that's taking place here. Here in Taurus, the fifth and the sixth house, it's very imperative that the fate is definitely for our creativity and our health, hospitals and vitality. We can see that. We can see that. We can also see that the earth, the pleasures, the money is in opposition of this healing. The money, the resources that it's taking, and the money that they are making is where we're asked to let go of this mental burden, this fate that's taking place at the hospital is teaching. There's definitely lessons here about this health. Hygeia is in the public. So our health, this vaccine, the sun is shining. There's creativity. There is teaching. There is research, experimentation. And Hygeia is the daughter of Asclepius, the healer, the god of healing. Homeopathic healer, though, is what she represents. She represents disease and healing through homeopathic avenues. She wants us to clean up our act. There is pride that was being taken this morning, this experimentation, this teaching that will change the way that we communicate about health. Vesta is the soul worker. She is very concerned about our health. Conjunct the moon. There is an energy here with the moon and with Vesta that is speaking loudly. There is a self-sacrifice that happened today. The woman that took it, she sacrificed for the higher truth about health, about this fanatical system that's critical. Being conjunct the moon in Virgo, there is definitely a strong link with emotions in the body. There's a perfection that's taken place. Any stress will create illness. And that is what the moon is conveying. Definitely about teaching the philosophy of the emotions and the body. It's very critical for structure with these emotions. The midheaven being in Virgo as well, there's a new beginning, this justice, this balance that's taking place in the government. The midheaven in Virgo is critical. She's a perfectionist, very detailed, and this is about health. This is all about health right here. The balance that is it has began. It began today at 6:31 a.m. with this Pfizer vaccine. This house, the 11th house, is ruled by Aquarius, Uranus, the air. There's a balance that's taking place for the future. Apollo here in the 11th house, this is about surgery. This is about healing methods that are not homeopathic. Plasma, blood. Apollo here in Scorpio is very intense. This point of Hades to this point of Venus, there's an intensity that's happening with this weight. And this weight of the world is why that woman, that sweet 90-year-old woman, was brave enough to take that vaccine. Hades is also coming down to this 5th house. And so there is a point here with the dark moon, with money. We come over here and we see that dark moon, these dark emotions with our future. The values, the death and the rebirth and regeneration, they're at odds. That's the red line. This one's really red. This one's really red, right? We've got this one. Lots of squares, lots of challenges, but it's faded. The partnerships, there's a lot of money, lots of powerful people, lots of power. Midheaven is squaring this house, the node. So the nodes squaring the midheaven is not ideal. Neptune is also squaring the nodes. So there is something hidden about the immune system. There's a sacrifice with an immune system. And it's very challenging for the health. We've been here before. And humanity just may have to take another direction. We've definitely been here before. That's my little quick synopsis of the corona vaccine in the UK this morning. That brave woman who said, sure, go ahead. All right. Until next time, I'll see you. Peace.